I think a number of our lone players scoring yesterday. And as you can see, the first one up, tweeted out by Gus, this was George Abbott's goal yesterday for Wickham as they, I don't know if they won, but it's a lovely goal. He moved up the leagues to League One and seems to be still going strong there, George Abbott. Brilliant turn and finish from him. And our loanies are doing really well this season. Yeah, it's a really nice goal from George Abbott. World Class says, we stopped forcing the issue almost immediately after Brennan came on. I don't know how he does it, bro. That was my complaint about Brennan Johnson. He really killed a bit of our momentum, didn't it? And that is the one thing that is how much he does score goals, like our build up down whatever side he's on really kind of dies when he's on the pitch, and we got to kind of find a way of overcoming that.
Agreed.
Spurs Global with some statistics from Destiny and Mohamed Kudus yesterday. Udogie, as you can see there, 3 ground duels won, 10 passes into the final third, 10 recoveries as well. Brilliant stuff from him. And Kudus, 6 successful duels, 8 ground duels won, 1 assist, 2 chances created, and 5 recoveries. It was a brilliant display from those two, and really, really encouraging. Next out was some stats from the game yesterday. As you can see, our field tilt was strong, if you like the stat field tilt. I don't even know what that means, field tilt. But apparently our field tilt was very good yesterday. I think that what you can take away here is that if you look at the bottom right graphic, if you go to that one, Simmons was only on the pitch for half an hour, yet he had the most progressive carries out of anyone on the pitch. So it just goes to show what impact kind of he made. And he was absolutely brilliant in his little cameo, Xavi Simmons, yesterday. Really, really great to see him playing in the 10. BLTHFC says, am I the only one who thought Palhinha played well, protected the back four really well, especially on Porro and Udogie were out of position? Have you seen the discourse around Palhinha, Amir, like online and stuff? Some people still thinking, you know, is he the right guy for us? Does he do enough on the ball? Like, what have you made of his start to life at Tottenham?
Wow, really? I you know, as someone who tries to go to as many games as possible, I think he's been phenomenal, Sim. I don't understand what the debate's even all about. You know, if you see how he goes into tackles and how he wins balls and second balls, and he's not there to play 60-yard dreamy balls, you know, to the wingers. That's not what he's in the team for. So for the role that he's assigned to do, he's doing it to the best of his ability, and I absolutely love him. I'd sign him right now.
Yeah, I think he just does what the role requires, just winning as many duels as possible in the middle, and then allowing the more creative players to flourish. He's not here to be a deep line playmaker.
Exactly, and this is the thing, Sim. There may be some games where he shouldn't even play. Maybe against, for example, Doncaster, don't play him. Wolves even maybe don't play him. Maybe we don't need him against Wolves. Play Bentancur there, who can do a similar job, but he's also a bit silkier on the ball. Maybe Bodo for the Champions League, and you want a bit of that solidity. Play him against Bodo. You know what I mean? Use him sparingly where you need to use him. All the big 6 teams, for example, in the Prem, we're going to need him. He's going to need to start. But yeah, anyone asking questions about Palhinha, I would want to question your football knowledge, really, to be honest with you, because he's been phenomenal.
And for me as well, what he's good at, he's actually one of the best in the league at what he's good at, which is winning those duels, covering the ground, getting stuck in. Like, very rarely he goes into a 50-50 and comes out second best. And look, as much as he's not like as good on the ball as some of the best sixes in the league, he's not as bad as people say he is. Like, he's not great, but he's not like someone who can't play a bit as well. So I think he maybe deserves a bit more credit. Bait the Pressure says, Udogie was incredible against Brighton today. Having a natural left footer at left back changes everything. The angles, the progression, the balance. He completely shut down Minte, read the game brilliantly and carried the ball with purpose. Every time he linked with Odegaard, Spurs looked sharper and more in control. He didn't just defend, he dictated the flow of the game. Calm, intelligent and unstoppable. A proper man of the match display. For you, does he come in now as our first choice left back in the Premier League?
I think so, Sim. I think that position is, it's either him or Spence for sure.
James Coy says Udogie and Kudus were our two best players today for sure. Palhinha's also got a shout, but look, those two
I
really
agree.
had a brilliant game. Jonas Zorro says points out the VAR what was allowed for Man United and what was disallowed for Tottenham and how close they are. Can I just say with this offside stuff, I think it's utter bullshit where they draw the line, because they have on your arm, they have a line on your arm where they draw the line from. If you click in the picture, it isn't the end of a shirt sleeve. It's apparently it's where the armpit ends, but that is so subjective where on the arm you draw. And some places it's going to be a bit high, an inch higher, some places an inch lower. There is no pinpoint place that they draw the line from on the arm. And I think there needs to be a more definitive, okay, is it the shoulder? Is it the feet? Or is it somewhere where everyone can understand where exactly they're drawing the line from? Because they could literally draw the line anywhere across this, between the shoulder and your elbow. They could draw it anywhere across there and people would have to accept it. And I think it's absolute bullshit. It's so subjective where between the elbow and the shoulder they should draw it. I don't know the perfect place. Where is it? Where is it between the elbow and the shoulder they draw the line? I think it's utter nonsense.
I couldn't tell you, Sim. I couldn't tell you, and I couldn't tell you what they do in those VAR rooms or what goes on at Stockley Park, because we've seen so many terrible, terrible decisions, not just this year, but for the last 4 or 5 seasons since we've had this VAR stuff. You could make a montage of them and you'd be here all day.
But look, if you click it, Sam, if you click into the picture, just that's where they draw it for Bruno. So only that part of his arm is over, so it counts as onside. But then you go to R1, and then if you go to the next picture, that's where they draw it for Van de Ven. So I don't understand where they're drawing the arms. It seems to be two different positions. It seems to be just whatever they can. That's so easily manipulatable, is my point.
Yeah,
because you can draw it anywhere in that line, because it's not apparently it's not the end of a shirt sleeve. It's where the armpit ends. Some stupid rule. I don't really understand where you're meant to draw the line.
There's only one way. Only one way to stop the debate, Sim. There's only one way.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, get rid of offside completely.
Oh, offside?
Get rid of offside completely.
No, you can't get rid of offside.
Why not?
Because that wouldn't lead to what you. I think it would lead to everyone just defending really deep, because you can't be caught offside.
It will change the game completely. I agree, but it would stop all these silly debates over a line here or there, or.
But then you bring goal hanging back.
Is it better than having these debates over lines?
I just think offside needs to be drawn via the feet, and that's it. You do it from the feet, and that's all it is. If your feet are onside, they're onside. If you're offside, they're offside. That's it's so simple. I don't know why they're complicating it with this bullshit of where you are, where it lands on your arm between the elbow and the shoulder, and where they draw the line, and it could be an inch to left or right, and no one can say any different. It's ridiculous. And then when you're dealing with millimeters, an inch to the left or right makes all the difference. So you could really easily manipulate that into your whatever favor they want.
But then even if but then Sim, the same thing could happen about a foot. You know what I mean? If one foot's like that and one foot's like that.
No, but at least you know it's at least you no,
anyway.
But that's true. But at least you know it's the end of the foot. Here, I don't know where it is. You know what I mean? It could be
I see
anywhere.
what you mean. It will be clearer than what it is now. But
now it's a joke. Now it's ridiculous, in my opinion.
I see what you mean.
What this offside is. To Trunk says, my Hilario Vicario agenda is intensifies. Is that a bit harsh, Hilario Vicario?
Yeah, come on now, it was a mistake, but the amount of games he's kept us in, the amount of brilliant saves, up at City as well. You got to put some respect on Vicario's name, mate.
Yeah, I think he's having a decent season. I know he didn't have a good game yesterday, but remember that Bournemouth game for me was phenomenal. Like kept us
Kept
in
us
the
in the
game.
game.
I think he's
Kept us in it.
like Man City as well. Made some big saves at 0-0 before we went on
Yep.
to win the game. So I think in general he's actually had a really good start to the season. I was one who said who at the beginning of the season was saying maybe Kinski could fight for his place, but at the moment I think Vicario. I know he made that one mistake, but I'm not willing to drop him just yet.
No.
Poseidon says Vicario really could have done better for that second goal, I know, but it was far from a howler, as some are saying. Still one of the best and most underrated keepers in the league. Happens to everyone. Look, I think it was a howler, in my opinion. He has to save that. It was a bad mistake. And I think he'll know that. I think the way Frank is a very kind of... he's not someone who's going to call someone out in public, is he, Frank? And the fact that he was like saying... Oh, Vicario, he could have done better, but I told him that. Like that was basically Frank's version of a bollocking. I feel, what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if he knows that Vicario should have saved it, I think everyone knows that. Squawker says no player has made more tackles in the Premier League this season than João Palhinha. 13 of them have come in the last 2 games against West Ham and Brighton. One thing I have noticed about João is he definitely seems to perform better when we're away from home, I feel. Man, I think maybe he's more built for those kind of games. What do you reckon?
Maybe he hyped himself up for those big away days. There might be something in that. I want to see these great performances continue. I think he's just, phenomenal at his job. Absolutely phenomenal.
And that's it. That is how the internet reacted to Spurs' 2-2 draw away at Brighton.